Hi, I'm Laura the Library Lady, and welcome to today's episode. Today I will be discussing the book Mr. Bumble. It is by Kim Kennedy and illustrated by Doug Kennedy. They have something in common. That's right, the same last name. Well, Kim and Doug are brother and sister. And if you've watched my episodes, you know that sometimes we have a father and daughter combination. But this is a brother and sister, and this is Mr. Bumble. This is a lot of fun because you know I love gardens. So this kind of tells the story of a bee. Every spring, the meadows become a buzzing and busy scene, with hundreds of bumblebees gathering pollen in their hive. Such work came easily to all the bees, to all that is, but one. And we see the flowers here, like the flowers of my garden, and you see bees everywhere collecting pollen. And sometimes we don't respond well to pollen in the spring. Sometimes it gives us a stuffed up nose or makes us dizzy. Many of us are allergic to it. But the bumblebee who had trouble collecting pollen was Mr. Bumble. His name was Mr. Bumble, and he was the clumsiest bee who ever buzzed. Sadly, when it came to gathering pollen, he never could take off from a flower without bumbling, fumbling, and tumbling. While the other bees buzzed back to their queen with mounds of the golden dust, Mr. Bumble always returned with the smallest share. "Another empty bucket?" Queen Bee would fuss. "Dents are all you seem to gather." So we see Mr. Bumble here bumbling, fumbling, and tumbling. And then we see the Queen Bee here as she's fussing about what Mr. Bumble has not brought her. She can't do anything with dents. She needs pollen. One evening, the Queen held court. "Something grand has happened," she announced. "Today, one of our scouts buzzed over an undiscovered clover patch. There you will find a gold mine of pollen." Everyone was excited about the news except Mr. Bumble. He couldn't help wondering what might lurk in the patch, just waiting to catch a clumsy bee. So here we have the queen and all the pictures of the queen bees along the hive walls and all the worker bees. Mr. Bumble seems to be the only bee upset about this. "Study this map well," declared the queen, "for tomorrow you will journey there." "But what else did the scout see?" Mr. Bumble asked. "Does something live in that patch? And if so, what does it mean?" "Well," said the queen, "if that's true, those of you who are quick and clever have nothing to fear. But those of you who are not," she added, looking at Mr. Bumble, "beware." So here we see the queen bee. She's telling Mr. Bumble to beware, and this is the map of how to get to the undiscovered or the newly discovered clover patch. So, the story goes on, and I'll stop here because Mr. Bumble is very worried about his journey. And it is a difficult journey, and something does happen, and there is someone there at that patch. But you'll have to read the book to know what happens. Where can you get this fun book? You can get it on Amazon.com, your local bookstore, and my favorite spot, you got it, the public library. This is a really fun book. I've really enjoyed reading it, and I think it's a great book because it talks about being afraid, seeing monsters. Sometimes, like, I'm a bit clumsy, my mom's a bit clumsy, so those are, some people are just clumsy, but that's okay. this is a great way to talk about it with your child. And I love the map in here because I didn't really learn how to read maps until I was in college, which was way too late. But in Michigan, you had to take 2 years of world history or geography. I took world history. But I love this map because it tells the bees where to go. So I think map skills are very important. I love maps to this day. And I know we have GPS on our phones and etc. But knowing longitude and latitude is very important because that's the X and Y axes. So see how you're talking about nature, you're talking about math, you're incorporating things that happen seasons, what do bees do, why do they need pollen, being afraid of monsters, being a person who's clumsy and how to get over that. So this book covers all of this, and this is great for 5 to about 7 to 8 years old, and it's something that you'll really enjoy. So this is Mr. Bumble by Kim Kennedy and illustrated by Doug Kennedy. Make sure you check it out. Happy reading! Thanks!